Okay, hear me out. Pokemon games can actually get pretty spooky. Sure, most of the time they're pretty kid-friendly, but the few moments when they decide to change the tone are really fun. And this dark and spooky Halloween night, I'm going to be talking about a few moments like that. I'm going to cover a few times that Pokemon games decide to get a little bit spooky. Okay, picture this. You're 8-year-old me playing Pokemon X for the first time. You've got a few badges, you've caught a few Pokemon, you didn't nickname them because you thought you'd forget their names, true story. Eventually you get to Lumiose City. This, for your 8-year-old brain, huge area to explore. Eventually you get to a building, go to the second floor, and the music cuts out. The lights start to flicker. You lose control of your character, and then this happens. This absolutely freaked me out as a kid. The way the Hex Maniac just glides towards you with no animation, just floating, the way the music cuts out, the way the lights start to flicker before she appears, the complete lack of any explanation, all made this pretty spooky, especially to an 8-year-old me. This one's a whole spooky area, the Pokemon Mansion. The mansion is decrepit, run down. It's pretty clear that something happened here, but you don't know what. There's gaps in the floor, rubble everywhere. The whole thing is overgrown with plants. The location description even said that it was burned down. After you explore, after you use a repel and explore the mansion, you'll find these journal entries and start to piece together what happened here. That's right, it's environmental storytelling, baby! Anyway, the journal entries tell the story of how the researchers discovered Mew in the jungle, created Mewtwo, and then were unable to control it. It's very heavily implied that Mewtwo is responsible for what happened in the mansion, and the fact that they never directly state it really adds to it. They imply the horror and then leave the rest up to the player's imagination, and I think that's really great. Before I talk about my favorite spooky moment, I'm gonna go over a few creepy Dex entries, because nothing is scarier than descriptions of fake animals. Okay, let's start with Drifloon. Its Pearl Dex entry reads, "It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. However, it gets pulled around instead," which is pretty harmless, you know, kind of funny. And then immediately afterward in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they turn around and say the children go missing. What the hell, Drifloon? Gourgeist's X entry reads, "Singing in eerie voices, they wander town streets on the night of the new moon. Anyone who hears their song is cursed." This one is almost more funny than it is creepy. I'm imagining just a whole gaggle of Gourgeist just parading around the streets and singing. Palossand's Moon entry reads, "Buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it is drained," which is legitimately horrifying, and I don't know what Game Freak was cooking. Finally, Gengar's Moon entry reads, "Should you feel yourself attacked by a sudden chill, it is evidence of an approaching Gengar. There is no escaping it. Give up." That's gonna be a nope for me. That's just straight up going to be a nope. The idea of the Pokedex itself just telling you to give up is so creepy. It's almost like this thing is haunted or something. Oh, wait. Now let's talk about my favorite spooky Pokemon moment. The Thrifty Megamart in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Okay, so for context, by this point in the game, you probably have a full team of 6 and are pretty used to the trial process. You solve a puzzle, you beat the totem, and then you get the Z Crystal and do it again. And for the most part, the ghost trial is the same, except for the music. When you get to the trial site, the very first thing you hear is this. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and this is a good one. It's off, especially compared to what you're used to hearing by now. The regular trial theme is upbeat, happy even. This one is slow, it's stuttery, it's almost glitching. It immediately gives you this feeling that something is off, and something is off. And then after getting stuck on puzzles made for babies, you eventually get to the back room. Your camera fires up on its own. Something is in here with you. And you, in real life, have to point the camera around to see what it is. And then this happens. You're immediately thrown into the totem fight. And this thing isn't a pushover either. Thanks to disguise, the first attack you do won't do any damage. Add in its only 2 weaknesses and ability to call in help, and this fight starts to look like one of the harder ones in the game. This whole sequence is the closest thing the Pokemon has to a jump scare, and I love it. It does such a good job of using the game mechanics themselves to throw off the player. The music glitching out, the camera firing up on its own, and being thrown directly into a fight that you probably aren't prepared for are all great. And the cherry on top is Acerole telling you that there was never a back room. And when you go back, sure enough, it's gone. Oh my god, this scene just does such a good job of, if lightly, spooking the player. So what did we learn this dark and spooky Halloween night? Well, the spookiest thing of all, of course, nothing!